Shalom, and welcome back to B'nai Noach Academy, Thoughts on Life. Please remember to hit the like button, to subscribe, and most importantly, to share this insight and inspiration with friends and family. So we look at the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 6, beginning with verse 22. And for several verses, it goes through what we know and we call the Birkat Kohanim, the priestly blessing. Notice the word blessings. I thought this is an opportune moment to perhaps explain somewhat the differentiation, that it is the difference between blessing and prayer. Notice it's not called a priestly prayer, it's called a priestly blessing. Prayer versus blessing. We know there's some legends, great stories of people who went to great rabbis or righteous individuals and got blessings from them. But then there is the prayer, the power of prayer. And in truth, I must say that the power of prayer is significantly more powerful than blessing. And I'll explain to you why. And this is why I strongly encourage you, me, us to always pray. Not just to seek out the blessings, but to engage in prayer. What is the Hebrew word for prayer? Bracha. Now, we know that in Hebrew, as well as other languages, but especially in Hebrew, in biblical Hebrew, every word has an etymology. It comes from a certain root. What is the root? What is the true meaning, the literal meaning of the word bracha, which in this context means blessing? It comes from the word mavrich, which means to draw. For example, a pool of water in Hebrew is called a brecha. Notice the similarity to the word bracha. Because essentially, what is a pool of water? You draw water from somewhere, you collect it and bring it here and collect it here together and keep it together. Thus, a swimming pool is called a brecha because the water doesn't originate there, it doesn't come from there, it comes from elsewhere, it's drawn from elsewhere. So essentially a blessing, even a blessing of the holiest individual, somebody who's a miracle worker, could only come from what is available in the source of the blessings, meaning they can only draw down, they can only bring about that which is already there, and for whatever reason is being held back. For whatever reason, there's a snag, so to speak, in the conduit, and therefore it's not being channeled down properly. Whereas prayer, the ultimate expression of prayer, if you look in the prayer books, typically would be Yehi Ratzon Milfanecha. May it be the will before you. May it be your will. In other words, we're asking God to create, so to speak, to bring about a new will. That means even if it wasn't there, even if it didn't exist already, not even in potential, we're asking God to, so to speak, generate, to bring about a new desire, a new will. Thus, prayer is more powerful than blessing. Because ultimately, prayer could even bring about something that wasn't potentially there. Prayer could, so to speak, could generate an entirely new entity. Yehi Ratzon Milfanecha. May it be your will before you. Means may you create, may you make a new will. So even if God, so to speak, didn't will it yet, and therefore you cannot bless and draw it down, but you can create a new will. So this will tell you that the power of prayer, the power of the individual, the power that one has when they really commit their mind and their hearts, connect to God, and pray with their whole heart, really mean it, you're bound to see the results. You're bound to see God, quote, create those new conduits of blessing, which will come down and shower you with all those things that you're asking from God. So never hesitate from blessing, from prayer. Never hesitate from turning to God. And like we said in the other class, if you don't have the quote unquote correct words, say it in your own words. Say it like you mean it, because you certainly do. When you certainly need something, you definitely mean it.